It seems to me that we talk a lot in Parliament about those who are disproportionately affected by problems. And I certainly think that discussion has an important place. But the fundamental problem with youth unemployment isn't disproportionate impact. It's severe economic problems caused by policy that are hurting the job market overall. And in that context, there are some things we can't control, but there are also some things we can control. And a lot of those things that are controlled by policymakers are just not going well. If the economy was better off, then everyone would be better off. If the economy was surging and employers were hiring, then many of the problems that we see would be solved by employers who would have the resources to attract and train the workers that they need. In my view, in our view, it's not a wealth distribution problem, it's a wealth creation problem facing our country. And I wonder if you have additional suggestions you want to share with the committee in the time we have here about what changes the government needs to make to catalyze wealth creation that will address the unemployment crisis.
Yeah, good question. My internet's a little unstable, so hopefully this works out. I am privileged that I also serve as an advisor to the Business Council of Canada, and that represents, a couple hundred of Canada's largest employers. So I get some insight into the things that bother them. Obviously, tax competitiveness, and we can point out all the terrible things, the Trump administration is doing and the way that weighs down on them. But some of the things they've introduced, for example, I think no taxation on all their expenses if they build something for the first year. That is a huge. We've seen $17 billion from 7 members in the last 7 weeks go to the United States. Announcements, some of it by our own pension plan, by the way, the Canadian pension plan, announcing billions of dollars. You think, what could that $17 billion do here in Canada for our employment rate and for youth unemployment? And so it is some of it is purely tax competitiveness. Obviously, some of it is regulatory competitiveness. And it's the certainty. Business needs, especially in commodities, 10, 15, 20 years of certainty to decide to invest here. And they simply don't have that in Canada. And when they do member surveys of what are the top concerns for you, tariffs is not number one. Regulation is Canadian employers' top concern. And so having a line of sight, and I have to say having some bipartisan collaboration so that business investors know, it doesn't matter what will happen in 4 years or in 8 years, we think Canada is going to be a safe jurisdiction to put our money. Anyways, I just don't think we look at competitiveness and how Canada competes on the global stage nearly enough as we want to diversify our customer instead of just using kind of that easy hook of going down south. Then we need to start being competitive with all countries, with all commodity producers. It's not just about getting that easy access to the American market anymore.